welcome to 2024's inaugural A Cuppa Tea with A+C. I'm Polly, and this week I'm joined by the gorgeous Paul.
Thank you, Polly.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Really good, thanks. How are you?
I'm excited. I'm excited to have this chat because we sit opposite each other in the office every day, and we actually I've never dug into the nitty-gritty. These chats are good because it means that like all those questions that I've not asked, and I felt now our friendship's gone too far beyond to ask, I can ask.
That fills me with a little bit of trepidation, but let's see where it goes.
Firstly, most importantly, what's in that mug?
A cup of green tea.
Cup of green tea.
That's right, yep, a cup of green tea.
You usually have a cup of green tea and jasmine, though.
I do normally have a jasmine green tea. It just takes the edge off a little bit more than the green tea, I find.
Yeah, but tell me what, because Paul used to be an Earl Grey guy. And I
wasn't ever really an Earl Grey guy. I was just defaulting to that because there was nothing else around.
Really?
Yeah, that's why.
But you know what I've got in here?
Green tea also, by the look of the label.
Bloody peppermint!
Peppermint. Oh,
I know,
okay.
this is... I mean, let's see how long
We're the herbal kids then, obviously.
Well, we'll see how long my healthy bender lasts for in 2024.
Okay.
Right. What is it exactly that you do for A+C?
Well, by job title, it's...
By job title?
By job title, it's Head of Marketing and Development.
Right.
That's the job title. Now, do you want to know what that really means and what I really do?
Exactly.
I guess really more than anything, it's a role that's designed to do anything that's going to drive growth for the studio in whatever means and form that takes. And sometimes that's literally lead generation, hardcore sales stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's taking care of our proposition to the marketplace. It's our service offering, looking for other alternative forms of revenue for us, keeping a handle on our finances to make sure that we've got that we're tight operationally and margins wise. So a little bit of everything really.
I mean, the wheels essentially fall off if you're not about.
I'm not sure they do. They might feel like they've fallen off for a day or so, but everybody would recoup.
They
very,
totally
very
do.
quickly.
They totally do. I mean, it's exciting stuff.
It's lovely.
It's
lovely.
exciting stuff.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into like the excitement of what's coming in 2024. But let's have a little reflection on what happened in 2023, because across the board, it was a tough one for the industry in general.
Yeah, it was 2023 was, I think bloodbath's probably too strong. I've been through worse in my career than 2023, but it was certainly up there as one of the worst years. Not just for production companies or animation companies like ourselves, but I think we survived probably better than some post-production and VFX houses did. Not because we're better than them, just because of the structure of the market and what was happening in the marketplace. But, everything flows down the line. Marketers' spend was down. People were worried economically. That meant that agency spends were down. And ergo, that meant the briefs flowing through to us in the short-form commercial space were down as well.
Yeah.
So definitely the volume of work out there retracted last year. There's no dispute about that from anybody, I don't think. It's not to say that it was an awful year. We normally run 2 to 3 projects concurrently from one another. Last year just meant that we were back-to-backing projects, or in many instances with a gap between them, which is unusual for us because we operate at our best when we've got a couple of different briefs going through the studios.
When it's hectic.
Yeah.
But it did give scope and time to develop the long form content.
So that was the thing I was about to add as well. The positive side to things coming out of being less active from the volume of productions going through was it meant that we had a lot more time to take care of our own house and our own business. There were some strategic things that we wanted to do. In terms of the structure of the business that we took care of last year. I feel that we right-sized the business last year. But as you said, we were able, in the downtimes in between productions, to focus on our own IP and driving ourselves into the long-form space, which is a real priority for us moving forward. Yeah. It's going to be a tight year again. I'm hoping, just because you have to be optimistic in what we do, it'll be better than 2023. In terms of our industry, animation-wise, in the short form space, reflecting on the commissions and briefs that we got out the back end of last year, I do see a continuation in getting a lot more hybrid or mixed media scripts.
Right, okay.
So people asking us to combine live action and stop mo, or
2D
2D and stop mo, or CG and stop mo. And we're very adept at that, and we've been doing it for a long while. But I think 3 out of the last 4 briefs we got were mixed media, so that doesn't take anybody of great insight to predict that that's only going to continue.
No, yeah. because we had the BBC one last year.
We had BBC Squarespace was also
and
mixed media.
Squarespace, yeah.
Lego had mixed media elements in it too, with the CG generated work on the screens on the set and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I just hybrid work and mixed media work. I see much more of that coming as well.
So what are the events that you keep eyes on? Obviously the Golden Globes noms have just come out, have they not?
I think the awards were last night.
Was it the awards last
The awards
night?
were last night. Would you like to know who won the animated category?
Oh, should we go for a spoiler? I was only just on the blooming nominations.
No, the
let
awards
alone
were
the
last
actual-
night.
Right, come on then. Tell
Okay,
me,
so The
tell
Boy
me.
and the Heron won,
The Boy and the
animation.
Heron, okay.
Beautiful piece of 2D. I mean, you ask about what's coming in the industry. In animation, and this isn't a Paul Gotham prediction, this is, I've heard and read this and observed this from many sources. The Boy and the Heron is essentially a beautiful piece of Japanese anime.
Gorgeous.
The creep of Asian cultural phenomenon, such as anime. Anime is definitely becoming much more prevalent over here. But you look at how K-pop's taken over the world.
Yeah.
Completely, really. Female bands now as well as male bands for us over here. So, I do think... I actually see this as now we're getting into some very, very deep, but I think the shift from the Western hegemony ruling the world economically, socially and culturally is passing, and we're coming to the end of that. And I feel that we probably are entering the Asian generation.
Yeah. Right, I've got one final question.
Shoot.
What does 2024 hold for A plus C? Have you got any juicy bits of intel?
I've got lots of juicy bits of
Come
info.
on,
Unfortunately,
Paul.
90% of them are highly confidential.
Come on, give us a little sprinkle.
Things to look out from A plus C this year. Over the next few weeks, we'll last year was the first year that we deployed a roster as part of our studio.
Yes, the roster of directors, and I've interviewed some of them on
yeah.
some of these already. So if you want to have a look over those, we've got we've got Louise, and we've got Jess.
Yeah.
So definitely take a little look at those. They're on.
But anyway, look out for some very exciting developments on our roster coming very soon. That's probably the first big piece of news that we'll have coming over the next couple of weeks, I believe, this year.
Very exciting.
So there's that side of things. We're ramping up some of our capabilities in the CG space, not by building those in-house, but we're formalising an alliance that we have with a European partner of ours.
Very, very
and there'll
exciting.
be some news on that over the next few weeks. There's some huge developments underway as to what we'll be doing with our long form side of things and our own IP ideas. So, we adore the commercial short form side of work, and it's our history, it's where we come from, and it's been our key to success so far. But the dream of the studio and Dan, our founder, has always been to move into the long form side of things.
Also, to have that creative license,
Yeah.
I think, is so. That's really exciting.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
very excited to see what happens with that this year. Yeah.
So there's lots going on with that. I mean, that's what I spend a lot of my time doing.
Oh well, Paul, thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure.
Always an insight to sit opposite you or next to you. So, if you've got any questions for Paul, the guru, please pop them in the comments underneath this video, and we'll get him back in the next few months. I mean, we've got quite a chock-a-block few months, so it will probably be later on in the year that we get you back in, but we will press you for questions if anybody has any. So thank you very much.
Thank you for the tea.
A pleasure, treasure. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.